Can your freshly launched Amazon product sell well without any customer reviews? Yes, the answer is yes, and there is no secret to it. You just need to have great product visuals to outstand your competition. In this video, our guest Kamal is sharing how you can leverage different data, how you can optimize your product listing for mobile, and many more tips which help you to make your Amazon product listing launch ready.
Hi, Kamal. I'm very happy to see you here today and record a video with you after we saw in person in Prague at the European Seller Conference in June. So I'm super excited to have you here. I know people loved your presentation, which you did on stage. And today we will talk about how sellers should get their product listing photos and videos ready for their product launch. So it's a very important topic to make sure that their product launch will go successfully. But before we go into the details and have a little bit of discussion about it, could you first introduce yourself and also introduce what AMZ One Step does and how do you help Amazon sellers?
Okay, thank you, Lizette. Super excited to be back on the channel, and it was pleasure, meeting you in Prague. My name is Kamal, for those who don't know me, and I'm the CEO and founder of AMZ One Step. What we do, we help Amazon brands, optimize their listings with product photos, videos, A+ content, 3D renders, and stuff like that. So we've been doing it for over 6 years now, so pretty well known in this space. So yeah, so today's topic, how to get your photos and videos ready before the launch. I think it's really important. A lot of people mess up, right at this stage, after they find a good product. This is one of the, crucial stages of your, of your launch. So super excited to present this topic.
And before we go into it, I know you prepared some slides for us as well. I wanted to ask, is the importance of visuals, photos and videos increased in the past year because the competition has been increasing so much as well on the Amazon marketplace?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So the importance of, visuals like photos, videos, A+ content, even Amazon Live coming out, storefront, even premium A+ content. So Amazon is promoting, they want Amazon sellers to be more creative so that, the buyers can have better customer experience on the product display page. So Amazon wants, sellers to have like really, really good creatives. So yeah, if we have seen, uptake increase in the conversions, if sellers have better creatives, and yeah, also, in the previous years, sellers were doing like lots of strategies, tips and tricks with the PPC, get the ranking. But now everything is boiling down to the creatives. Even the PPC agencies or PPC gurus or even like industry experts, they don't take on any project, or they don't take on any any client if their listings are not super optimized, because they know that none of those strategies would work if your creatives are not up to the mark. So yeah, super important.
Yeah, and I can confirm that actually 100%, because I think the interviews we have done over the, let's say, 2 years at least with different PPC experts, like they so often emphasize the importance of having like PPC ready listings, which often includes highlighting the importance of the visual part and just making sure that everything is crafted well together, or is put well together. So yeah, that's good to hear. That's things kind of work together on Amazon platform, right? You can have like nice visuals, but if you don't have PPC, it doesn't work. You can have PPC, but if you don't have very good, well-functioning visuals, then you also aren't successful, right?
100%. Amazon is, getting super competitive. So if you want to, so it's like a sequence of everything that need to work out. So you need to have a good product, So if you have a good product, but if you don't have a good traffic, it's not going to work, right? If you have a good traffic and you don't have good conversions, it's still not going to work, right? So if you don't have like good PPC strategy, it's still not going to work. So there's very few products which are so good that it can even sell without, doing much. But most of the products now these days, with especially the competition which is, on the marketplace, you need to do like everything right, so that your listing can perform at its best.
Okay, nice. So yeah, let's start then first with your slides that you prepare for us to kind of give us some insights to the topic itself.
So super excited to speak about the topic that we have today, how to get your Amazon listing photos and videos ready for the product launch. So if you're an Amazon seller whose product launch is coming up soon, then this video is for you. So the goal from this listing is to create photos and videos so good so that your product sells even without any reviews. So that should be the goal when you're creating your listing in the first place. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So this topic, is very open-ended and broad. So when it was brought up to me, so I was thinking, like, should I do it for sellers who have an in-house team, or maybe should I do it for sellers who outsource it to like other freelancers or other agencies, or should I do it for sellers who do it themselves? So this presentation will kind of cover for everybody, and we will take the questions in the end. So let's talk about some of the common pitfalls or mistakes when creating photos and videos for your Amazon listing. Number one, all listings, they are not created equal. If you look at this example, this product is a beach towel, and if you need to do like creatives for this type of product, number one, you need to travel, you need a model, and you also need a beach, and hopefully a perfect weather to get the videos and photos that you need. And you also need product expertise. If you look at the picture, the product can be worn in like 10 different ways, maybe multiple ways. So you need to make sure the product looks good. You need to make sure you have the full understanding of the product. And there's like a bunch of other things. The whole crew needs to travel to the beach. So there's like so many variables when you're doing a product like this, as opposed to, let's say you have a product B, which is disposable coffee cups. So what do you need for that? You only need white background setup and some graphics. Or even if you do like lifestyle images, they're like super easy to do. So some products, they require more money, right? And some products, they require more time. And there's some products which require more expertise, or there are some products which require 3D renders, right? And some products require like bunch of other things. So the point is that all products are very unique in their own way. So you need to plan accordingly. Okay. So the second common pitfall is not doing the competitors research. So most of you are aware how to do the competitor research. I'm not going to dive like super deep into that, but if you go to brand analytics, go to the top search terms, search for the keyword that you're trying to rank for, or that you're targeting, and it's going to give you like different search terms and top 3 ASINs. So if you look at your targeted, let's say disposable coffee cups, you're seeing one ASIN, and look at the click share. Like, what are some of the top click share listings? So click share is going to give you an idea what kind of main image you need to create. Okay, and look at the conversion share as well. See what are some of the listings which are converting really well. So this will give you a really good understanding of what kind of listing you need to create. If you don't have any idea, this will at least give you a path that what are your top listings that you're trying to aim for. So this is also very common that many sellers, they ignore the mobile optimization. Majority of the Amazon shoppers, they're browsing and purchasing on their mobile devices. So you want to make sure the infographics that you have, they are like big and readable on the cell phone, and other mobile optimization things that you need to do. And the fourth is the limiting beliefs. A lot of sellers, they have limiting beliefs, like we all have, like I have some, you may have some, many sellers have, everybody got some limiting beliefs and that they don't know about. The most common one is, no one understands my product better than me, so I might as well do the listing on my own. It's not true. If you do a good job at communicating your vision, your product, your brand, other people will understand and probably do better than you if you find the right person. Some people think that Photoshop makes my listing look bad. Not always the case. If you have a good Photoshop expert or good designer, this can actually elevate your listing. Okay, videos are expensive. If you're looking for Amazon product videos, they're not that expensive unless you're going for a commercial level great video. So videos are not that expensive. And some people say that I will use my suppliers' photos and upgrade only if my product does well. That is also not true, because it's actually your creatives which will make your product do well, not the other way around, right? And many people, I hear that a lot, that I have a friend who does photography and I will hire him. So that is a big no-no, because that's what you're not going to get the results that you want. It's going to take a lot longer, and you're probably going to have a bad relationship in the end. So try not to do that unless they're like Amazon listing expert, right? So before we dive into the main stuff, let's talk about the basics first. This is only for sellers who don't know about this. What you need to do, you need to do at least two main images which are on purely white background. Why I say two main images? Because you need to split test them so that whichever listing has a better CTR, so that you go with that image. And it must be Amazon compliant and optimize that for a pattern break or scroll stopping image. So that's what it should be optimized for. And you need to have like number one, two white background images at least. This can change. Also, you need to have minimum 2 to 3 infographics, which covers about the product information, instructions, product features, and a bunch of other things that you can cover. Same thing, you need to have like 2 to 3 lifestyle images showing product in use, and so that buyers can visualize your product. And it also acts as a social proof if your listing is brand new. So it also shows the benefits. Going back, for the main images, I have done a video on Orange Click, like showing 13 different strategies how to get your main image optimized. So if you haven't checked that out, please feel free to, because that's more in depth. This is basics that I'm sharing with you guys. So for the product video, your listing video should be aiming for the conversions up to 60 seconds, and understand what type of video you need, because there's like different types of videos that you can do. You can do like a UGC video, you can do maybe installation video, or a lifestyle video, or unboxing video. So understand and the type of video that you need. And when you're working with an agency, also try to get like extra renders for the PPC or premium A+ content or your storefront. The listing can be used in other departments as well. So let's talk about what do you need to do before you make the listing. So first, you need to collect all the product information, like product features and product benefits. Write it down. I know it's super basic, and also get the list of important keywords. What is your unique selling point, and who are your competitors? Write everything down. And what kind of variations do you have, and what is the quantity look like, and all sort of like the product information that is absolutely critical in order to create good photos or videos. So try to come up with all the objections beforehand. For example, what are some of the objections that my potential buyers may have, when they're making a purchase? For example, let's say you're selling a headphone, like, people may think that, oh, it's too expensive. So you need to justify why that price is high if the potential buyers are thinking that. So you need an image according to that. Or some people may think that, I don't think the battery will last that long. Okay, so you need to cover that element as well. Or maybe, is it compatible with my device, right? And does it have a noise cancellation? So think of all the reasons why people will not buy your product, and that could also be part of your product, the research that you need to do before you make the listing. Okay, so second thing, start early, like at least as soon as you have the samples ready. Okay, creating photos and videos may take longer than expected. So it is recommended to start like as soon as your finalized sample is ready. And the more time allows the team to be more creative, and you also avoid the risk of missing out on the honeymoon period. I know a lot of sellers, they miss the golden honeymoon period just because they were not able to get their creatives, photos and videos done on time. So this is a big mistake. A lot of people do that. So the key here is to start as soon as possible. Okay, and next, decide who wants to create the listing. Is it you or who's going to be doing the listing, or is it a freelancer, or like maybe multiple freelancers, or do you want any agency to work on that, right? So each of them have their own pros and cons. So I'm not going to dive like super deep into that, but decide who you want to work, who you want the listing to be created, and get 2 samples ready for your creatives. This is really important because a lot of the time, like at least 80% of the time, the sellers that we work with, they only send us 1 unit, even though we ask them to send like two units for the creatives. So the reason why we say that, because for the best photos and videos, you need 2 samples because some samples may get damaged during the shipping process. So it is better to be safe than sorry, right? So sometimes the product gets used during the photos or videos, so it may not seem brand new in the rest of the photos or videos. Like, does that make sense? Because, for example, we were working on a on a powder, like a protein powder. It came in a bag, so we did like photos on white background, and we moved on to the lifestyle images and videos. So we had to cut the product and then use the protein powder, and now we have cut the product and the powder is out, so you can't really use the same sample for any revisions or changes that may come down in the future. So always have 2 samples ready for the photography. So what do you need to do during you make the listing? So number one, you stay involved with the team that you're working with and be very clear on the communication, because it's really important for the other party to understand what your vision is, what kind of images that you're looking for. They may not be as good Amazon expert as you, so sometimes you need to drive the project. So be very clear of of your communication, stay involved, and be open to the feedback. Like, if they have something to say, get the feedback. Maybe listen to your other community members if you're part of any groups, um, or if you have a mentor who's helping you out. So get some feedback, right? And in the end, when the project is about to complete, ask for changes. This is, a lot of the sellers, they just accept whatever the agency gives them. So you need to ask for changes if you think that something is not clear. So what do you need to do after you make the listing? The first and foremost, split test the 2 images that you created, or split test the video, or split test the A+ content. You can either do it on PickFu, like right away, or IntelliView, or there's you can also use like manage your experiments if you're doing it live on Amazon Seller Central. So this is really important. So this is what split testing looks like. If you don't know, I have done like a very detailed video on this channel about diving deep into the split testing. You can check that out. So once your split testing is done, you need to track your metrics. Okay, go to the business reports in Seller Central, look at detailed pages, sales by sales and traffic. And the most important thing that you need to know is the page views and the unit session percentage. Okay, so the unit session percentage means how well your listing is converting, and page view means how many people are visiting your page. So both of them needs to be high. Okay, so this is really important for you to do if your listing is done. And also keep an eye out for the new competitors, because there's new competitors who are emerging like every single day. And lastly, it's not over yet. Once you have made the listing, it's listing optimization is a process. It's not just a one-time thing. So over time, new competitors emerge, and PPC and ranking will change. So you want to make sure that you are continuously optimizing your listing. So sometimes I see sellers, they come to us, they're like, oh, my sales has been going down for the past 6 months. And when we look at the listing, they never made any changes in the last 5 years. So what happened in those 5 years? Because the other competitors were coming, PPC was changing, the rankings were changing, and their listing was continuously going downhill for the past 5 years, and then they want to take action. So do not delay that much. So you continuously, once you have made the listing, you always want to keep an eye out on your competitors, track your metrics, keep doing the split testing, and understand that it's not a one-time thing, it is a process. So I want to share our own process as well, because when I was making the slides, I didn't know like what is going to be the most valuable thing for the seller. So I wanted to share like our process as well. So first, what we do is we create an image plan and the script. If it's a video script, if it's images, we do image plans. So what we do, we look at, we ask our clients to give us all the information, and with product features, benefits, target audience, important keywords. We go on Amazon, we do all the manual research, look at some of the top sellers that are getting traffic, top sellers that are getting higher conversion rate, read all the negative reviews, positive reviews, and we create a presentation like, hey, this is what we're going to do for you. What do you think? So once the client say, okay, this makes perfect sense, and all of that is happening on a strategy call. So we do all that, we jump on a strategy call, understand like if we missed anything, our clients share the feedback with us. So and on the strategy call, we finalize everything. Okay. So once that is done, it is sent out to the photography, videography, and if it's a 3D, if it's getting 3D rendering, so it's sent out to 3D render team. So do not have your like photography or videography team start unless you have a plan written down in a on a document and you are on the same page. You don't have a strategy call. So do try that. And after that, your team can work on the production like photography, videos, and 3D renders. And once that is done, it is then passed to graphic design and the video editing team. So then they can do their magic, add some graphics, and make sure they're ready to be delivered. And then before it goes, our quality assurance is done. Then we give it to the client, and then revision. If you need any changes, then the revisions are done, right? So this is our process in a nutshell. There's like so many other pieces, but this is what you need to do if you're working with. If you have in-house team, you can steal this process. If you're working with somebody, you can again use bits and pieces of this and make it part of your own process. And same if you're if you have an in-house or whatever you're doing. So I thought this might be valuable. So what you need to do, if you're working with an an agency or a freelancer, so what kind of questions you need to ask them. So number one, how long would it take to complete the images and videos? So get an estimate idea, like how long would it take to complete. As I shared in the examples before, let's say if you have a beach towel, there's so many other variables, so you need to account for. So this will give you an idea, like what to expect. And the second thing, what do you need from me in order to create top creatives? Like, do they just need you to fill out a form, that's it? Or do they need you to jump on multiple calls? Or like, so that at least you can provide them with everything that they need in order to give you top quality assets. And most importantly, ask them how many revisions are included, because some companies, they don't offer any revisions at all, and some companies, they do. So you want to make you want to be mindful of that, right? And is model or location included, or is it being done by the Photoshop stock images, right? So you do want to confirm that. And also, like, would you offer any support after the listing images or videos are uploaded, right? So that is also one question that you want to ask. Or one last thing, do you outsource or do you do it in-house? A lot of people, they are the middleman in the industry, so they would take the money from you but give the work to somebody else. And then then what happens, there's a Chinese whisper. So you give feedback to the middleman, and the middleman gives the information to the other other company, and the things are never done according to your vision, right? So some of the pro tips in the end. So always jump on a discovery call with your agency or a freelancer, like before you start any project. So you want to make sure you are having a discovery call to make sure if they can even do that product for you. Like we are a full service creative agency, and we don't do all the products, right? So there are some products which are like super oversized, or some products which does not make sense to us. So always discover on a call that if you both are the right fit for each other. And also do a 3-second rule test. So whenever you receive the images, if you cannot understand that image in 3 seconds, that means it's not good enough to be put on, to be on your product display page. And just because the design looks good does not mean that the images will convert. I have seen it multiple times. People are like, oh, my images look beautiful. But no, design is one part of it. But how does your copy look like? How does the concept look like? How well are people receiving it? Is that feature or benefit good enough to be on the product display page, right? So there's so many other factors. So just because your design looks good does not mean the image will convert. And if you're hiring models or actors, make sure their outfits, makeup, etc. are appropriate. So because I have seen it many times, because let's say I have seen some problems with the projects where the model had, like, long nails, and the client didn't like it, or it did not really resonate with the product, or maybe you may have like certain type of audience, so you want to make sure that the outfit is designed for the type of audience that you're targeting. And also check their portfolio and the case studies, which is not made up. A lot of people do that. So, and do not pay the same price for the variations or the same listings. They're always different. I have seen many sellers who are just paying, exact same price for, just for being an additional color or different style. So do not do that. And that's it. That's all I have. Lizette, I'm open to take any questions.
Before we started recording, you said you have a few slides, and actually you provided us with such a good overview of a lot of different details sellers have to take into consideration when they are preparing for their Amazon, for a new Amazon product launch, and when working on the visuals part. So thank you so much first for everything you shared with us. I think it was super interesting. And also I wanted to highlight, as you mentioned during the presentation, there are more videos with you on Orange Click YouTube channel where we go more in depth with certain parts of the product listing. So make sure to check those videos out as well if you are enjoying this one. I think one of the first questions I would like to ask from you. So as you said, one option is that sellers are producing some of the things in-house, maybe taking the photos and doing the design part as well. And I also know you work with a lot of sellers, and probably you also help to improve the existing listings, not only work with like newly launched products. So based on everything you have done so far, what would you say are kind of like some main mistakes sellers do who are usually producing everything in-house? Like probably there is something they either do incorrectly with taking the photos or maybe later post-editing them.
So the sellers, who are doing it in-house, I do meet them, whenever I go to conferences, some of the sellers who have like, more than maybe 500 SKUs, or, they prefer to do it in-house. And the number one mistake that I see is they're not utilizing, the all 7 images, or they're utilizing more images which are like, the balance is not there, so they're using more white background images only. So the images need to be in a good mix of infographics, good mix of lifestyle images, and some main images on pure white background. So that's what is working really well. But the sellers who are working, who are creating in-house, they're more of like white background images that I notice, and which is one of the things that they can improve upon. And the other thing, the mistakes that I see the in-house sellers make is they're very limited to their own studio. They are not taking, so the creativity is, it's limitless. It's like, you can be creative like anywhere. So but they're very limited into their white background studio setup, or the things that they have. So they try to make the lifestyle images within the same things. So what if they can start exploring, maybe going outdoor for the shoots, right? Maybe if they could book an Airbnb if required, the same in-house team, but just getting out of their studio would be a game changer for the sellers who are doing it in-house.
Okay. And I think, sometimes it's quite difficult to make photos on your own because, for example, I'm based in Estonia and we have quite a long winter time. So imagine if I would sell like something like a summer product and I want to launch it early in the spring and I need to work on the images and stuff. I just can't go outside to the beach and make very summer-like photos, right? Which kind of leads me to the next question. It was very interesting that you highlighted the point of having the expertise about the product, for example, how to exactly use it, etc. So what do you think, what's the best way to communicate the way of the right use of the product to a photographer? If for example, I decide to hire you and let's say I have some special winter product, maybe some special skis or something, but there's very specific way how you either put them on or wear them. So how should I make a video for you? Or
yeah, so that's a really, really good question, Lizette. So what we do is, and I covered it in the presentation as well. So you need to do like 2 different things. One is always jump on a discovery call, right? To make them understand like what the product is, or the strategy call that I shared. So tell them like all the features and benefits and special things that they need to know about your product. And most importantly, what we implemented, which was a game changer, is completing the feedback loop, right? Ask the person like to explain you once again what they understood. So you tell them, okay, this is my product, this is how you install it, this is how it works, and these are kind of images that I'm looking for. Can you please explain me, the same thing that I just said to you? So they would repeat it after you, and then you can tell, no, perfect, you're 90% there. Here's the 10%, which I want you to, know about that was missing. Or they could be like perfectly 100% straight up. Or they could be like, you will be surprised that when people complete the feedback loop, they only took like, 20% or 30% of what you said. Right. So completing the feedback loop is one of the great ways to make sure that the other person understands your vision. So start doing that, even not just in the creatives, like even in your business, if you're hiring VAs, or if you have team, like even in your life, completing the feedback loop would be a game changer. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good life advice. Yeah, I think overall, yeah, I liked it a lot. So you mentioned like some products are more difficult to make photos and videos of than others. Maybe some oversized products. Generally speaking, what type of products are the most complicated to take photos of? I don't know. Maybe there's certain material, size, something else interesting, because often Amazon sellers get the product idea based on the data and numbers they kind of analyze, and don't really think about all of the next steps that actually follow to produce all of the materials for the product. So maybe you have some interesting examples.
That's a great question, Lizette. So I'll break it down into two different parts. Part one, the products which are to do with babies and pets, they are very difficult to produce because sometimes it takes like more than just one photo shoot. So you may have to you just need like perfect shots, right? And you can't really go by script, right? So you just have to get lucky and spend lots of time making sure the pet is comfortable, baby is comfortable, so that you can sometimes we have worked on so many baby bassinets or baby products, and the babies just hate those products, right? So they as soon as you put it up on the product, and they start crying. And how do you get good images out of that, right? And especially if you're getting a baby or a pet, their parent need to come, which is like an extra expense. It could go like multiple uh multiple reshoot days. And also like photoshopping those kind of products are look very fake, so you have to do it right way, right? So these are one type of products, right? And it also kind of relates with the mistakes many sellers make, is that they find a product, it's looking profitable, everything is good, but they do not see the creatives cost associated with the product launch. So it kind of shakes their whole budget, right? So it's very important. So number one, babies and pets, a little bit difficult. So you want to make sure that it's either it can be photoshopped, or you have the budget if you want like real pictures. Second one is, for example, the products which are not for, let's say, home decor, right? It's a simple product, you don't need like lots of expensive, but just because it's a home decor item, you need to make sure the whole living room looks top class. So that right, so you can't have just one home decor product and an empty kitchen, or empty living room. So you want like good paintings, good plants, good lighting, good colors, good aesthetics. So just to get like some of those pictures, they could be a little bit difficult, right? So these are the products that you need to be aware of. But again, those products can be photoshopped. But yeah, that was a great question. Yeah, so these are the I should consider, which are complicated.
Yeah, I think those are good insights, because I imagine a lot of people, for example, if we talk about home decor or some home appliances, you think, oh, like I just put it on the table in my kitchen and I just take photos, right? But as you said, it's all about like what's in the background, and it has to support the product. So yeah, good examples for sure. All right, Kamal. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us today and educating us about the creatives and the visuals. But before we go for today, could you once more give us an overview of what kind of services AMZ OneStep offers for Amazon sellers? How do you help them? And then also, what's the best way to learn more about them if anybody wants to use those services to probably, give away some of the work from their plate?
Okay, so if you're, what we do is we help Amazon brands with creating listings like product photos, videos, A+ content, 3D renders, premium A+ content, storefront. So anything creative on your listing product display page, we do that. And if you need help with that, you can contact us at info@amzonestep.com or follow us on, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at AMZ OneStep. So yeah, so that's our channel. So would be very happy to help.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks again. I hope to see you soon. If not before, then hopefully I'll see you at the next European Seller Conference in Prague next year. But then until then, we wish you good luck producing awesome visuals for the sellers.
100%. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to meeting you once again.
I hope tips you heard in this video will help you to prepare your product for successful launching. And if you like the tips, don't forget to hit like. And if you have additional questions, use the comment section below this video. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video, which will teach you how you can redesign your A+ content to get more conversions.